Let's go to Worcester Park in London, talk to Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hello there. Right, I've got to say, I think we have to nail this nonsense about multiculturalism once and for all.
Go on.
I love going to different countries and I love imbuing myself in the culture in another country. But the idea is, for instance, I'm not knocking any particular country, that the idea Somalian culture somehow enriches our country is rubbish. I mean, please tell me yourself. You tell me, what is Somalian culture? You tell me how it's enriched our country.
Well, it's not fair to pick one, Paul. I mean, you could...
Right, Syrian. Tell me how Syrian
what about Italian?
Is. No.
Do you like pizza?
Okay. Yeah, but
like a pasta?
Hang on. Well, hang on. That's
like
what I was going to come to. One of the cultures that we're most imbued with is ancient Greek culture. We didn't need the ancient Greeks come over in boats to take on their culture. What we do as a good culture is we look around the world, we see those bits from cultures that we like to take, which we did with ancient Greek culture, and we take it on. We can take on spaghetti and bolognese and curries without necessarily having to have the people live amongst us. But I'm still going to go back to my answer, because we have lots of Somalians and Syrians and Egyptians. I bet you can't tell me what one of their cultures is and how it's affected ours. Please, come on, Somalian, Egyptian, Syrian, Ethiopian.
Well, I think it's about all of them. I don't think
You're evading.
I'm not at all, Paul. I just don't think you can...
Somalians live in London. Please tell me what their culture is.
Why are you picking on Somalians?
Are you saying that you can't tell me what Somalian culture is?
Why are you asking about one specific one?
Do you know what Somalian culture is?
Not particularly. I don't know that many Somalian people. How do
you know whether it enriches? And if you don't know what it is, how do you know if it enriches our culture?
Because I'm talking about the whole mix of cultures. I'm not talking about one or two.
I'm willing to take a few. Tell me about Syrian culture. What is Syrian culture?
Why are you picking certain countries?
Because I'm showing that you're talking nonsense. People talk about multiculturalism. They haven't even an idea of what the culture of half these countries. That's one part. The second part is they can't even say how it enriches their own. I could put 20 countries with you. I guarantee I could ask you what their culture is and you wouldn't have a clue.
What about the people from those cultures that are keeping the NHS running right now?
Hang on. We're talking about multiculturalism. We're not talking about them working. Okay, we're talking about multiculturalism.
But they go together, don't
change
they?
the argument.
I'm not.
Please tell me about Afghani culture.
Paul, I'm not changing the argument because they go hand in hand. You can't have people coming here as migrants to work and say, well, actually, you can't bring any of your culture with you. You can't bring your food or your language or your religion or your faith or your way of looking at the world with you. They're two sides of the same coin. And if you accept that we need people coming here to work in jobs like care or the NHS or wherever it may be, then you also have to accept that that's going to come with multiculturalism.
But you were talking about the benefits of multiculturalism.
Yeah, but I've just given you one.
Right. Can you tell me about Afghan culture, apart from stoning their women to death? Can you tell me about Afghan culture?
What about the Afghans working in the NHS, for example?
No, tell me about the culture. You're trying to evade the whole discussion.
Paul, you're missing the point that I'm putting.
Your discussion was the benefits of multiculturalism. It was
about diversity.
And I'm saying there are no benefits.
It's about... So you don't think all the people who come here as immigrants to work in the NHS is a benefit of diversity?
It's not a benefit of their culture, is it?
Well, because they go hand in hand.
No, it might work better if maybe we said give up your culture, whatever it is, and take ours on, but we don't seem to be willing to do that. And the thing is,
but why should they give up their culture? They're coming here to look after our elderly or work night shifts in our hospitals, and you want them to change the way they speak or what they watch on TV or what they eat.
And that would be nice. That would be nice. You just
Why would that be nice?
Hang on. Yes, that would be nice.
Why?
If they were the same culture as ours. But the thing is,
right. So if you come here from Somalia, cultures. To take your example, to work as a nurse in the NHS, you can only eat fish and chips and bangers and mash.
No, absolutely not.
So why do you want them to give up their own culture?
I'm not. No, well, you can't even tell me what their culture is. What is their culture?
Why do you want them to give it up, Paul?
What you're trying to do, you're trying to divert the answer.
I'm really not. I'm asking you a very, very simple question, following up what you said, which is it would be nice if they left their cultures behind. And I'm just asking why you think it would be a good thing.
I think it would be a good thing because we need to amalgamate, really more or less, or coalesce under sort of one particular culture.
What's British culture?
And we don't do that. Sorry?
What's British culture?
Well, you know what they say, if you have to ask the question, you don't know the answer.
Well, you asked me about Somalian culture. What do you think British culture? All right, well, you do better than me then. What's British culture?
You answer me about Somalian culture, and I'll tell you about British culture.
You're British, Paul. I'm not Somalian. So it's a bit unfair, isn't it?
No, but you like the idea of all these. You said multiculturalism.
Yeah, but all right. So
you can't name one culture.
Paul, you're telling me that you want more people to adopt our culture. What is it?
Well, I'd say some of the things about our culture is a sense of fair play, right? A sense of humour, a sense of sarcasm.
It's not British.
A certain.
That's not uniquely British. You don't think any other cultures have a sense of humour?
Yeah, but you can't name that because you can't
Come
tell
on.
what other cultures
You think no
are.
other cultures have humour?
I've done my little bit. Now you tell me a little bit.
You haven't done your little. I asked you what British culture was, and you said a sense of humour.
No, I said a sense of humour, a sense of fair play. Okay.
You don't think other cultures have a sense of fair play?
Well, you can't.
We are the only people on earth that believe in fairness.
Well, okay then. I've done my little bit.
You haven't answered it.
Name me three parts of Somalian culture.
But Paul, I'm not Somalian. I'm not Somalian.
But you just said how great all these cultures are.
I'm asking you as a British man.
You can't name a trait of any of them.
I'm asking you as a British man what you think our culture is.
You can't name one trait of these other cultures, which just shows you're full of hot air.
You can't name any traits of your own culture, mate.
I just did. I just said self-depreciation.
And I'm pointing out to you that that's not unique to our culture in any way.
Well, tell me
you can't tell me. But Paul, you've called in to tell me that everyone should adopt British culture, and you as a British man can't begin to articulate what that is.
Somalians are well known for their sense of humour, are they?
But do you not see the irony? And
are they? Are they?
Yeah, I'm sure they have a sense of humour.
Tell me some comedy shows. Tell me some comedy shows by Somalians that are watched the world over.
Paul, how arrogant to think that only Brits have a sense of humour.
So what you've done is you've evaded every question.
I really have.
You started the proposition by saying how great multiculturalism is, and when I try and pin you down it, you can't tell me anything about any other culture about Italian, apart from Italian spaghetti bolognese.
Pointing out that you've called in to tell me that you want everybody coming here to adopt a culture that you can't even begin to articulate what it is.
Do you know how much you sound like you're floundering? Do you know how much you sound like you're floundering?
I'll try once more. What is, apart from fairness and having a sense of humour, which I would put it to you is pretty integral to most cultures around the world, what is British culture?
Well, I'll try once more with you. Please tell me something about Somalian culture.
And you think I'm deflecting? You think I'm the one that's deflecting?
I asked the question first.
Paul, perhaps if you want people to absorb a culture and adopt a culture that is this country's culture, you might want to think about whether you have and whether you actually understand what it is. Because fairness and a sense of humour, that's not unique to us. How arrogant do we have to be to think that no other culture beyond ours has a sense of humour? My goodness, Paul. British culture is the thing, but it would help if we could articulate what it is. Thank you, Paul.
Joe's in Enfield. Joe.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
I'm very well, Squire. Your thoughts?
Well, I find it to have Rio Ferdinand on radio is really disingenuous because, not knocking him, he knows nothing about real life, mate. So he's been in a football bubble all his life, been heavily paid, good luck to him, but to me, he's just a numbnut. So that's my opinion.
So, OK, so your dismissal of his point about the effectiveness of the cash going into the public sector is because he's a numbnut.
And what Dave Beckham's got to say, I don't know nothing about real life.
Because they're wealthy?
No, it's got nothing to do about their wealth. It's to do with how they've got their wealth.
Right.
Good luck to them. I'm not knocking wealthy people. But my point is, they've got their wealth through their talent, not from their brain. Well, there you go.
Well, hang on.
So I know lots of wealthy people that have got there through hard work, but they've been given a God-gifted talent to get their wealth. That's a bit easier.
Well, Joe, no, I'm not sure it's as simple as...
Really, mate? Really?
Well, I haven't said it yet.
Go on in.
When you're a footballer aged 8, there is absolutely no guarantee, even if you're quite good, that you're going to turn professional. You have to train, you have to learn, you have to graft, you have to turn up every single time.
Listen, Tom, I'm a professional sportsman. I've been in sports all my life.
There you go. So you know exactly how much hard work gets put in.
Exactly, that's right.
So why are you knocking them for it?
But, Tom, it's for me. If I went and won the British Open, it's for me, not for no one else. And you know what? I'll be so... What's the word I'm going to look for? So appreciative to what life has given me, rather than just talking about, I'm going to run off to Dubai. Good luck to you. But I couldn't give a monkey. There you go.
But does that make him wrong on his point about the effectiveness?
No, he likes, mate. But when he starts talking, I feel sorry for the normal person on the street that he's grafting away under this MFI government. Do you know what I mean by an MFI government? Made for idiots. Right. Because they're the worst cabinet. They're the worst cabinet I've ever known, mate. They couldn't run a bath. There you go. So I love this country, and I think it's still the best country in the world. And I don't want to go to a country where you can't be who you want to be. because he's hypocritical. That's my opinion.
So, okay, and you would count Dubai as one of those places where you can't be what you want to be?
100%.
So he should stay in Britain because his values should more closely align with British values and how we do things here, rather than moving to Dubai?
Listen, it's a free world. He can do what he likes.
Right,
That's up to his moral compass. That's up to his moral compass. So
why is he wrong, Joe? I don't understand. Why is he wrong? He's done very well for himself with his hard work and endeavour. What?
Yeah, 100%. Good luck to him. But my point is, Tom, that's not what this is about. I find it to have someone like Rio Ferdinand talking about, he thinks his country's gone, and he thinks, I come from the same neck of the woods as Rio Ferdinand. So you don't have to tell me about the real life, if you like.
But
he's been a very fortunate man.
But when you say someone like Rio Ferdinand, what do you mean someone like? Do you mean wealthy?
Well, no, because you celebrate like David Beckham. It's like someone like David Beckham getting a knighthood. Really?
Sir David.
Who gives? I wouldn't give the steam off my urine, mate. I don't really care. I've got no time for that at all. He wouldn't get the steam off my urine. There you go. So silly David Beckham with all his tattoos. See you later, mate.
Wouldn't even give him the steam that rises from the frothing... Joe, thank you very much indeed. Suze is in Old Trafford in Manchester, appropriately enough. Hi, Suze.
Hi, Suze. How you doing, Tom? You okay?
I'm well, matey, I'm well. Your thoughts on why people are protesting when there are no away fans to protest against?
I think they're protesting more against the actual nation itself, because they class it as an apartheid nation, right, and as well as committing genocide, which is the public opinion at the moment in Great Britain.
Amid some, yep.
And the reason being is, if you can apply that rule to Russia after a few days of them invading another country and not committing a genocide on the same level as this, they probably didn't want.
How do we know?
They probably don't want a team from that nation or any other kind of sporting event for that nation, and hence the reason why they're doing that. It didn't also help when Tommy Robertson also stated that him and his crew would also attend the game and try protect the Maccabi fans at the same time. They can't take any risk as whether they'll still be there.
Listen, you can see why, Suze, I completely understand why, given the history of some Maccabi Tel Aviv fans...
Well, they just got linked to the IDF today. Sorry, Tom, to interrupt you. Today, the intelligence the police had received, and one of the reasons was these were current IDF fighting soldiers who were organised fighters with intelligence what they got.
Some of them would have been because conscription is part of the deal in Israel. So
currently serving. Well, and they were organised fighters with records of straight hardcore violence. Well, that's getting unleashed on the streets of England was not a good look.
So do we allow British service personnel to travel abroad to follow their football teams?
We don't have the same reputation as killing babies as they do.
Well, tell that to Iraqis, tell that to Syrians, tell that to people around the world.
Come on, be honest there, Tom. That's a bit disingenuous. We don't go around killing kids and shooting at them at a food site.
Because unfortunately, the British Army...
is the best in the world. It doesn't go around shooting kids going to go get for food.
Again, sir, tell that to the Mau Mau. I mean, there have been...
I don't need to tell anybody. I don't need to explain what the British Army does to any other nation. We know ourselves that the British Army does not go around shooting kids asking for food.
I'm afraid the British Army have been historically committed awful atrocities around the world.
In the past, they may have.
Yes, absolutely.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, currently, in the wars, they have not been going around targeting children, trying to get food, and specifically targeting the testicles and the stomach.
Here's my point.
Things like that. Horrible stuff.
We don't punish the collective for the sins of the individual.
So why did we do that to Russia?
Sorry?
Why did we do that with Russia then?
Well, because Russia invaded another country. They started a war.
But the army did, not the people. Why are we stopping their football teams or their teams participating?
Because they started a war. Russia invaded another country.
Israel have done?
Well, Israel. I'm sorry, but again, this is a misrepresentation of what's happened.
No, it's just two egregious countries committing crimes.
Israel didn't
one is getting away with it, and the other one isn't.
October 7th happened, and Israel responded.
Yeah, no, of course they had to respond. It was an atrocity. Let's just get that out of the way. They had to respond, but they've continued it for 2 years and systematically destroyed a whole country and committed genocide. And it's on the same level as Russia.
That's your opinion.
Well, the opinion of the British public in England. We're talking about England, so I'm just going off the sentiment in the public.
Yeah, there are lots of people who use the word genocide, yeah, but I'm not sure that's certainly not the view of everybody in Britain. But because it's your opinion and because you've heard it repeated a lot, therefore what? It's a fact.
No, Amnesty International. Amnesty International
Amnesty International have said it too.
UN Commission concluded that after...
they've said it.
So there you go. And the British public stated, so more than likely it's going to be that, sir.
Well, it may well be. But the strict and honest answer to the question of is a genocide happening in Gaza, the strict and honest answer to the question is, I don't know. Because the people who are charged with ruling what a genocide is or is not have not yet ruled on it. Suze, thank you.
Monica in Richmond, what do you want to say about this latest crisis? Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I just think you're focusing on the BBC, but I think this problem is much wider than the BBC, and you're very guilty of this yourself.
Okay. In what way?
I think I'll give you an example. After the 4 Women Scotland judgment in April...
After the what judgment? Sorry, the what? The which?
Sorry, beg your pardon, the Supreme Court judgment, the 4 Women Scotland judgment.
I remember that story, Yep.
You had Susan Smith, one of the 3 women that were involved in it, and you admonished her for using for not using preferred pronouns, so she, her for women.
Right.
Now, this woman had 3 women sat around their kitchen table, took on the Scottish government, took it all the way to the Supreme Court, and won. And you wanted to tell her off for using factual language about women. So my issue, you've got these in the media. You've got these young, ideological, just out of uni types, and then you've
that's
got
not me. Any of the above.
And then you've got men like yourself.
Just about to go into a care home, not coming out of university. Anyway, go on.
You've got men like yourself that think of trans people as older transsexuals, the sort of true
No. I've never. That's a little unfair, Monica. I've never identified trans people in that fashion. I've never suggested that. And I can hear myself in months and years past having enormous sympathy for someone. And I have said I don't think it's at quite the level that people believe it is. But of course I believe that someone could be born in effectively the wrong body. Of course I believe that.
Oh, come off it, Nick. How is someone born in the wrong body? That's a ridiculous thing. No one's
But just to use an example, I'm not. But if I was born and I wanted to be a woman and identified as a woman, then I absolutely believe that in a small percentage of people that could be true. Yes, absolutely, I do.
What do you mean you identify as a woman?
You don't believe?
What does that mean?
To
identify as a woman?
Yeah. Gender dysmorphia is what it's called, Monica. It is an accepted condition, and I totally and utterly buy it. Of course.
Can I just come back? So gender dysphoria, that doesn't make them born in the wrong body. As someone with anorexia, because they've got body dysphoria, doesn't make them fat. If it's a mental condition, then fine, we treat it as a mental condition. We don't treat them by saying they are born in the wrong body. That's an outrageous thing. What do you mean by someone identifies as the other gender? What do you mean?
Because the sex they were effectively assigned at birth is not the sex that they believe the gender is. Not the sex.
Come off it, Nick. No one's assigned at birth. No one's assigned at birth. People are observed. Their sex is observed.
I just think we have to politely disagree on this one. And I absolutely respect your position. Of course I do. But I'm going to hold with my position that what is recognised as a condition, gender dysphoria, does exist, Monica. And I appreciate you don't think it does, but I don't think we're just going to go around in circles here, really, aren't we?
Well, when you criticise the BBC, you need to take a long, hard look at how you report it yourself, I'm afraid.
OK. No, that's very fair. I take that on board, Monica, thank you. And for goodness sake, I'm not... Some of my reporting in my career has been absolutely woeful. But I don't employ thousands of journalists in bureaus all around the world paid for by you. And if you don't pay me, you go to jail. That's not how my journalistic life has been.